While almost every other developed country is adding millionaires, Britain is losing them, with 17% decline projected by 2028. Out of 36 wealthy nations, only 2 are losing millionaires. The Netherlands at 4% and us at minus 17%. So the questions to answer today: why are UK millionaires leaving? What's causing it? Is it getting worse? And can this be fixed? This is where constitutional democracy was born. In 1214, a group of barons stood right here and swore an oath that led to the Magna Carta, the document that shaped the American Constitution, rule of law, the entire Western world. 800 years later, and Britain is facing a completely different type of exodus. Not barons fleeing a tyrant, but millionaires fleeing the taxman. Now, we need to clarify something important. Who are we actually counting as a millionaire? Because when you hear 3 million millionaires in the UK, that sounds mental. But when you understand what that means, and more importantly, who is actually leaving, the situation looks significantly worse. Because there are 2 types: total millionaires, of which there are 3.06 million in the UK. This includes anyone whose total assets hit that $1 million mark. Bought a house in London in the 90s, got a pension, some savings, add it all up, and you might be a millionaire on paper without feeling remotely wealthy. And that's why the 3 million number looks huge. Then you have liquid millionaires, and that's 602,000 people. This is over $1 million in liquid investable assets: cash, stocks, bonds. Not your house, not your pension locked away, actual mobile capital that can move overnight. Now here's the bit that matters. The 10,800 who left, they're liquid millionaires. Henley & Partners specifically tracks high net worth individuals with liquid assets over 1 million. Critics claim that only 0.35% of all millionaires are leaving. But the more important thing is that we're losing 1.8% of our liquid millionaire population per year. And these aren't random people. They're entrepreneurs, business owners, investors, the most mobile, most productive, most business active slice of wealthy people. In 2024, 1.8% gone. Projected by 2025, 16,500 more leaving. That's another 2.7%. At that rate, we'll have lost nearly 10% of our liquid millionaire population in just 3 years. These are the people who fund startups, build businesses, create jobs, and they're leaving. Now, let's zoom out because the UK numbers only look really mental in comparison. So, since 2013, US millionaires up 62%. By 2028, Taiwan expected to grow 47%. France up 16%, Germany up 14%, UK down 8% and falling to minus 17 by 2028. And the acceleration is scary. This isn't a blip, it's exponential. And we're the only major developed economy going backwards while everyone else is attracting this exact demographic. The people with mobile capital, business experience and investment capacity, every other country wants them and we're pushing them out. So that's what's happening. The question is why? What changed to accelerate this? Where are they going and what's it costing the UK? Because when 1.8% of your most productive wealth creators leave in a single year, that has consequences for everyone. So you might be asking yourself, how does this actually affect me? Does it matter that the millionaires are leaving? Do I even care? Well, let me use a little analogy to help you here. Let's say you have a house share and there is 10 people sharing this house, and let's say that's the UK economy. One of the people in this house share is a multi-millionaire. So the £1,000 bills that the utility company wants from you, he agrees to pay 400 because he has the largest room and he has maybe a tech startup in his room that's using a lot of energy. At first, he's okay with this. But then let's say the utility company decides they're going to put the price of everything up and they're going to make the millionaire pay the biggest percentage of the increase. The millionaire is sitting there thinking, right, it was okay at one point, but now I've had enough. And he looks at a house across the street offering the exact same room for less money. Let's say the house across the street is another country with better tax laws. So the 9 of you that were paying maybe £66 a month now are paying £100+ a month to live in the exact same place. Dubai and the United Arab Emirates attracted 6,700 new millionaires in 2024. Zero income tax, zero capital gains, zero inheritance tax. They've built proper infrastructure. Italy and their €200,000 cap. Move to Italy and you can pay a flat €200,000 per year on all your foreign sourced income. It doesn't matter if you earn 1 million or 100 million abroad. It's 200,000 total. Switzerland, negotiated tax rates. Different cantons compete for wealthy residents. You can literally negotiate your tax bill based on a lump sum taxation. United States, still adding millionaires. Higher taxes in many states, but they've got genuine economic growth. The pattern is clear. These places either have competitive tax rates or they've got economic growth that makes the taxes worth paying. Britain currently has neither. High taxes, stagnant growth. That's the worst possible combination if you're trying to attract or retain mobile capital. This didn't come out of nowhere. Timeline matters here. Brexit lost automatic EU market access. London's status as Europe's financial gateway took a hit. Wealthy EU nationals needed visas. Some left, but it was gradual. So what changed? March 2024, Conservative government announces they're abolishing non-dom status from 2025. This was them trying to steal Labour's policy. July 2024, Labour wins the election, confirms they're going ahead with abolition, plus hints at more tax rises. October 2024, Labour's first budget, non-dom status abolished from April 2025. Because for over 200 years, if you lived in the UK but your permanent home was considered to be abroad, you could opt for remittance basis taxation. You'd only pay UK tax on UK income and foreign income that you brought into the UK. Keep that foreign wealth abroad, no UK tax. About 74,000 people use this, paying £30,000 to £60,000 a year annually for the privilege. Now, if you've been a UK resident for more than 4 years, you pay tax on worldwide income, regardless of where it is. And the crazy thing is, in 2025 to 26, only around 1,200 of the millionaires expected to leave are non-doms. That's just 7.5%, which means a massive 92.5% of millionaires walking out the door are ordinary UK domiciled millionaires, fully in the UK tax net, not the non-doms everyone's always talking about. Capital gains tax increased, basic rate from 10 to 18%, higher rate from 20 to 24%, national insurance up from 13.8 to 15%, with the threshold dropping from 9,100 to 5,000, 20% VAT added to private school fees. And this on top of the highest tax burden since the 1940s, 40% inheritance tax above 325k, second highest in the OECD, frozen income tax thresholds causing fiscal drag. Now, Oxford Economics surveyed non-doms. 2/3 said they're planning to leave, and they are. The 10,800 who left in 2024, most left before these policies even kicked in. They were front running it. The 16,500 projected for 25, that's the actual policy impact. Adam Smith Institute calculated the actual loss. Each millionaire earning over £1 million pays roughly $394,000 in income tax annually. If all these millionaires are making over £1 million per year, then 10,800 millionaires leaving equals losing the tax revenue of 500,000 average workers. 16,500 leaving in 2025 equals losing another 800,000 average workers worth of tax. And the actual figure is likely to be higher if other taxes such as corporation tax, VAT, and national insurance were included. The top 1% of earners pay 29.1% of all income tax in the UK. That's the single biggest revenue source for the government. But it's not just the tax. When a liquid millionaire leaves, they take with them investment capital for startups and scale-ups, business networks and deal flows, corporate headquarters, and spending in the local economy. London's wealth management sector is already shrinking. Several major family offices have relocated to Switzerland, Dubai, Singapore. Treasury projects 33.8 billion in revenue from these tax changes over 5 years. But that assumes that people stay. And they're not staying. They're accelerating their exits. When the revenue doesn't materialize, the shortfall gets spread across everyone else, either through spending cuts or more borrowing, or most likely, more tax rises on people who can't leave. Tax Justice Network argues this whole narrative is overblown. Their point, Even 10,800 is only 0.35% of the 3 million total millionaires, hardly an exodus. And Henley and Partners sells golden passports, so they've got an incentive to make this sound worse than it is. Fair points, so let's address them. First, 0.35% of all millionaires. It's 1.8% of liquid millionaires, the most mobile, most economically productive segment. Second, if this is such a non-issue, explain why the UK is the only major economy shrinking its millionaire population while everyone else grows. Third, the acceleration. 1,600 left in 2022, 10,800 in 2024, 16,500 projected for 2025. If UK policy was fine, we'd see stability or growth like comparable economies. We're seeing exponential decline. The data speaks for itself. Here's what makes this particularly absurd. Britain didn't just participate in capitalism, we invented the bloody playbook. 1776, Adam Smith publishes The Wealth of Nations in Edinburgh, the foundational text of modern capitalism. Free markets, division of labour, entrepreneurship. The entire global economic system is built on ideas from a Scottish philosopher. We pioneered the Industrial Revolution. Steam engine, Thomas Newcomen, James Watt. British. Railways, Richard Trevithick, George Stephenson. British. The World Wide Web, Tim Berners-Lee. British. Created the entire digital economy in 1989 at CERN. Every tech billionaire owes their fortune to a British invention. Parliamentary democracy, common law, the stock market, limited liability companies, British innovations that created the stable institutions capitalism needs to function. From the 1950s through to the early 2000s, London was the destination for wealthy individuals globally. English as the business language, rule of law, stable institutions, reasonable taxation. For 250 years, Britain was the blueprint for how to attract and create wealth. We didn't just win at this game, we invented it. We wrote the rules. We set the standard. And now, we're the only developed nation losing millionaires at scale, while everyone else uses our model better than we do. Countries like Switzerland, Singapore, United Arab Emirates, they're not doing anything revolutionary. They're offering what Britain used to offer: stable governance, reasonable taxes, respect for wealth creation. We've somehow managed to take 250 years of economic leadership and bin it in about a decade. It's genuinely impressive how quickly you can destroy institutional advantages when you commit to it. But can this be reversed? Theoretically, yes. Practically, it's complicated. Option 1, competitive tax rates. Make Britain attractive again. Problem: Labour just went the opposite direction. They're not cutting taxes anytime soon. Option 2, strong economic growth. If GDP was growing at 4 to 5% annually, high taxes might be justifiable. We're currently at 1 to 2%, if we're lucky, and that does not cut it. Option 3, both cut taxes and drive growth, and that is what actually works. US in the 80s, Ireland in the 90s, Estonia in the 2000s, but it requires political will that doesn't currently exist. The current trajectory: 16,500 leaving in 2025. By 2028, we'll have lost about 45,000 liquid millionaires from the 23 baseline. That's 7.5% of the entire liquid millionaire population. Gone. And here's the thing, they're not coming back. The ones that have moved to Dubai or Switzerland aren't sitting there thinking, well, I can't wait to move back to Croydon and pay 45% income tax. Once they're gone, they're gone. You can't reverse brain drain and capital flight quickly. It takes decades to rebuild trust and reputation. Unless policies change dramatically and soon, this becomes structural. We invented the game, we're now losing it. All sources in the description, fact-checked obviously. Let us know what you think in the comments and we will see you on the next one.